G.
What's good, y'all? What's going on? Happy Saturday to everyone. Welcome into the show. I'm your host, Jersey the King. You already know what it is, man. We're getting it popping on a Saturday. Um, Gabe was not with us right now. He's actually on his way to a doctor's appointment with his daughter. So keep him in your prayers. Keep his family in your prayers, please. And make sure you guys, definitely show him some love. Um, we got a big show today, man. Got a lot to talk about today. Some things have been going on, and you know, I think it's best we touch on a few subjects. Now, start off the show. I always like to start off with a specific topic, and mainly spring football. And I gotta say, man, that I don't honestly know what to think. With everything that's going on in spring football so far this season or this off season, we don't know what to expect. Let's just put it out there like that. We don't know what to expect, right? We are basically sitting here speculating and waiting. Because now they're talking about 5 teams from each league instead of 8 USFL teams and 4 XFL teams. Then you've also got an announcement supposed to be being made either next week or around the 16th or something like that. There's just so much that's been said. And honestly, I'm just at the point where it's like right now, I'm just going to wait because there's no reason to really sit here and keep speculating when the insiders don't really know what's going on. They're getting told half truths. Hell, half the staff for both leagues don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's majority of the big rigs, CEOs and the owners and everything like that knows what's going on and or what's going to happen. So us sitting back speculating, yeah, it's all fine and dandy, it's fun, but at the end of the day, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. Hell, we don't even know if this upcoming season is going to be merged or not. They could just be doing all this for the hype, and then we still have a full season of XFL football and a full season of USFL football. You know what I mean? And the merge doesn't officially happen until the 2025 season. So it's like we have to, we have to really sit back and just wait, because the more we sit here and speculate, honestly, the more we sit here and speculate, y'all, the worse it's going to be when it comes to us getting the announcement, because it's going to be like, oh, well, this is what I expected because I speculated it and I thought that this would happen and I really wanted this to happen. Well, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? They made this, yeah, they made their decisions, which we knew they were going to do. And at the end of the day, we got to live with it. But I think that certain things need to be done. And I keep saying this over and over again. They need to just let this 2024 season play out. But again, like I keep telling everybody, if you're a season ticket holder in the XFL, when you bought your season tickets, you had 7 home games, 7 away games. Or excuse me, 6 home games and 6 away games instead of 5 and 5. So my thought of that was the merge was coming. I already knew it. I said it before the XFL season even started. I said it way back when they announced that they were buying that Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson announced that they were even buying the league. And it was getting closer and closer to, the time of the league to start. And I was like, we're going to get one season and then they're going to merge with the USFL because of the USFL and this hub crap. And now look at us. So I kind of felt that was going to happen. But at the end of the day, I still feel that they need to let the XFL season play out with those 6 home games and 6 away games, and one of those home games be against a USFL team and one of those away games be against a USFL team, and vice versa for the USFL. You feel what I'm saying? And then you let the playoffs play out. You let the championship play out. And whoever is crowned in both leagues as the champion play each other for the new merged league, whether it's going to be the National Spring Football League or the UFL, the United Football League, whatever. They play out both seasons. They have 2 interleague games, 1 home, 1 away, and they play a national or a inaugural championship game for the new league. So that way, next season they go into the merged league with a champion already, with a reigning champion already. You know what I'm saying? As well as an XFL, the XFL gets 2 seasons under their belt with either 2 different champions or possibly a repeat of champions in the Arlington Renegades. And then the Birmingham Stallions can look to three-peat before the merge, or some other team in the USFL emerges and becomes a champion before the merge, and then you go into that championship game with those 2 champions in separate leagues crowned. And then that's how you do it. you have to they have to figure out a way that they can make it to where all 16 teams can survive and stay in the merge. You know what I mean? So that way you get more football in the spring instead of this short season. And then we got to sit here and wait for football. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. March Madness, hockey, basketball, there's a lot. Well, NBA, college basketball, March Madness, and NBA, as well as hockey and baseball starting back up. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of sports in the spring, and football predominantly dominates during the fall and winter months. But you got to look at it for what it is. They got to, both leagues got a good amount of viewership during the spring season, period. So I look at it as, if you see that both seasons got, or both leagues got a good amount of viewership, then you know that people are interested in spring football. It just has to be done correctly. And I feel if they're going to merge and make it one big league, they need to keep all 16 teams. They need to figure out a way to get these USFL teams that don't have a field, get them a damn field, which I feel they're secretly doing. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I really feel that they're sitting here putting all their ducks in a row, and we're gonna have a 16 team merge league. Because why are all these letters of intent being signed to all these XFL teams that supposedly ain't gonna be here? Think about that. Hit says it's just a bunch of hearsay with a little bit of what's going on, but that little bit just fuels more rumors or speculations. Exactly. And that's all that's going on. People are just feeding that fire, feeding that fire, feeding that fire. And other people are just feeding into it. You know what I mean? And they're running with it and making their own speculations. Oh, well, I heard this and I heard that. And they're making their speculations that they're trying to feed to people based off of other speculations and rumors that are far from the truth, as far as we know. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Let's keep it 100. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we just got to sit back and let everything play out for what it is. What's going on, Sandy? Welcome in. How are you today? But we honestly just have to sit back and let it play out, because now we go from 8 USFL teams and 4 XFL teams to 5 USFL teams and 5 XFL teams. Now, come on now. Let's really see it for what it is. We don't know how many teams there's going to be. We honestly don't know how many teams there's going to be. We can't sit here and say there's going to be 12. We can't sit here and say that there's going to be, hell, 16, 10, 14. We don't know how many damn teams is going to be. Hell, they could really kill it and take 4 teams from the USFL and 4 teams from the XFL and say, hey, here's another 8-team league just merged. We don't know what the hell they're thinking. We don't know what they're going to do. So we just got to sit back and stop all the speculation, because a lot of the speculation from people is wants. Like in a bunch of these different Facebook groups I'm in, a lot of these speculations are just wants. You can tell by what they're saying. You know what I mean? Or they're going and reading a bunch of insider stuff, and they're just taking bits and pieces from these different insiders and making it their shit. Come on now. I can copy and paste that all day long. You know what I mean? So I really look at it as a situation that we as fans have to just wait and see. We as analysts and podcasters and videocasters and reporters and journalists and all that, we got to just wait and see. Wait till the announcement is made. Wait till something is said. And that's the thing that kills me with social media. It's like so many people pay attention to the littlest things. Oh, Danny Garcia and The Rock removed XFL stuff from their page. So what? Maybe they're getting ready for the announcement. Maybe they're setting us up. Maybe they're doing that on purpose because it's a little Easter eggs like that. It's little things like that that they know people are going to watch for. And if they do something like that, oh, are they no longer involved? Are they getting pushed out? It's just that and the third. Like, don't get me wrong, from all the speculation, it looks like a buyout. It looks like the USFL is buying out the XFL. But from what I'm hearing now, or from what you're seeing now in these different rumor mills and things like that, and Facebook groups and some insiders, it's 5-5 now, 5 teams from each league. So we don't know. We don't know. And that would be stupid as hell to merge the leagues and then only have 10 teams. And we go from 8 to 10. What was the hell of the what the hell was the point of the merge then? Like, let's be real. What was the point of the merge? If you're only gonna take 5 teams from each league. There's no damn point in that. We all sick of the hushy hush. But that's what it is. It's like hushy hush bullshit. It says at this point, all you can do is sit back and wait, but all this waiting gonna hurt them in the long run. Yeah, it is, because you have fans out there wondering what the hell's happening. You have fans out here trying to figure out what's the next move. Yes, that is it. That's all it is. It's all about the money. And that's kind of the bad thing right now. That it's just about the money for them, when they need to be looking at the fact that the more fans you have, the more money you're gonna make. Period. Look at the NFL. The NFL is the juggernaut it is because of the fans. The people that go and buy these season tickets and go to every game and support the NFL and definitely their team. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah, it comes down to money, but they don't even look at it as, okay, if we can get fans like the NFL has that are dedicated to our spring league, hey, the money's gonna come. The money is going to come. You get what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, why do we have to sit here and I don't know. It's like, why do we have to sit here and tell these idiots that? You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to sit here and tell you idiots that? Y'all should know this as businessmen and women. Y'all should know, if we can bring in the fans, that's all we need. Because if we can keep the fans interested and keep them coming back and wanting more, winner, you're going to make the money. There's no doubt about that. You're going to make the money. So it's a matter of these CEO heads really paying attention to wanting the fans to build their league. And green over fans for a spring league is not a good motto. It's good for the NFL because they big boys. Exactly. And he says, I hate the NFL and all the drama. But that's the thing. Yeah, there's a lot of drama and all that with the NFL, but they're successful. They sell tickets every season, no matter what. The spring league is going to have this new spring league is going to have to hope to sell tickets to get people in the stands wherever these games may be at. And then they have to do it to where it's not in hubs, because nobody's going to show up. I'm going to tell you that right now. They do it in hubs, nobody's showing up, and you're barely going to get people to watch. And the league's going to fold in the first year. And then it's going to be a wrap. I'm telling you. If they don't do it the right way, it's going to be a wrap, man. It's going to be a whole wrap. And I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that they do this correctly, because if they don't, it may not be looking good for the future of spring football. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? If they don't do this correctly, if they don't think about the fans and look at it as, if the fans fill up these stands, we'll be successful. If not, We won't. Yeah, if they don't start talking, they're not going to be successful either because people are tired of waiting. But that's the thing, though. People also have to understand that a merge does take a while. But they shouldn't have announced anything if they weren't ready to go ahead and do a full merge. And don't overprice the merchandise to compensate for low ticket sales. Yeah, they got to think about that too. There's a lot that they have to think about and reevaluate going into the situation that we're calling a merge. Because right now we don't even know what the hell it is. Real talk. But I don't know. I feel that if they want to be successful, they hold off, make the merge official next season, and they just have both leagues play out their seasons. This upcoming season in 2024, they have both teams or both leagues play out their seasons. They have the one home interleague game and one away interleague game, and call it a damn day. Have the playoffs play out, have the championship games play out, and then have the champions play each other. It's just like an AFC champion playing an NFC champion for the Super Bowl. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. The crazy thing is, you can get NFL jerseys for cheap nowadays. Like you can get XFL jerseys and stuff for cheap, but they are crazy ass expensive. Like that is ridiculous. I ain't even gonna lie. That is ridiculous as hell. But like I said, man, they need to figure out what they're gonna do. They need to figure out how they're going to go about this. Because if they don't do it the right way, I really think it'll kill for, spring football. I really do. If they don't go about this the right way, I really think it'll kill spring football. And I think the right way about the right way of going about this, like I keep saying, is have the seasons play out this upcoming season and then crown a champion at the end of both seasons. They need to play at the same damn time. It doesn't matter if they're competing. They're not going to be competing. People are going to watch all the games. I guarantee you, people will have a game up on freaking Peacock, on the Peacock app or on NBC, have another game up on another TV or another device. Like, no one's going to trip. They're going to watch it. They're going to support it because they want to see what happens, especially when a USFL team plays an XFL team. They're going to want to see that. We would want to see that and then see the merge because now we know what to expect, competition to expect. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel that it has to be done right. Hey, Hendo's in the building. DeMarcus Colors, what's going on? Mike Tackett's in the building. All right, let me catch up real quick. Hendo says the saddest part of all this is that there are those of us who want to support this merger and the future league, but the lack of information is making us all lose interest. Yep. You never lied about that, Hendo. DeMarcus, welcome in. He says, how are they going to have the champs party? What do you mean by that? Mike says, I find it interesting that a lot of players from Vegas, Seattle, and Orlando are all of a sudden selling their helmets and jerseys. I do too. I was just about to say something about that. I do too. And I think it's a little weird because you have all these players with letters of intent signed. So it's like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like what's really going on? I I don't know, man. Good morning, B. Welcome in, B. How are you this morning? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because that doesn't make sense. You got players selling their gear, but then you have other players signing letters of intent. Like, what? What? How? I don't get it. Wow, that's crazy. Vegas guard Larry Williams just sold his stuff and Uh, Vegas Vipers tight end Sean Price is my neighbor and is doing the same thing. Wow. It seems like they're about to be outed or something, like they won't be there or be where they are now. Yeah, something's going on. And I'm telling you, if they get rid of all these teams, guys, and they make this merge just stupid, it's over. That's a good question. Are the players who are selling their gear still under contract? Well, supposedly everybody's still under contract. Supposedly there's a lot of players who are still under contract. Like they're legit under contract right now. And then, like I said, there's been so many letter of intents for every team in the XFL. Every team. Over the last week and a half, 2 weeks almost, there's been damn near letters of intent signed almost every day. I wouldn't say a full 2 weeks yet. For about a week, week and a half at the most. So I don't know what's going on, man. And they need to get it together. They need to figure it out, and they need to get it together and get it together quick, because if not, this merged league is going to crumble. It is going to crumble. DeMarcus said, hit the enter button on accident. No problem, brother. Was going to say, how are they going to have the champs play each other when the season's done run at the same time? But you just answered, yeah, they gotta have them play at the same time. They gotta have the seasons run at the same time. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to. I would think being under contract would prevent them from being able to profit from the licensed gear, but I don't know the contracts. Me neither. Me neither. And it's hard to get that information if you're not, all the way inside. You know what I mean? Or you don't have a player or a former player who's willing to speak on it without them possibly getting in trouble or some crazy crap. You know what I mean? So with them selling gear, it's not looking good for the future of the XFL, at least, because, well, at least not all the XFL teams. It's not looking good for a lot of the XFL teams. So, I mean, they under contract, but nothing's being said just makes people wonder, why should I stay or become an NFL fan? Well, because that's never going to happen in the NFL. You know what I mean? You can't. It's never going to happen in the NFL. It's never going to happen in the NFL. You will never have to worry about anything like that in the NFL unless there's a boycott or a strike or something like that, and you got replacement players like there was before. But I don't know, man. It's hard to say what's going to happen because, like we all know, there's no information being given to us. At least if they were saying, "Hey, just wanted to keep you guys all up to date," you know, we're in talks, we're getting everything together. We will bring you an announcement soon. Something. They ain't even giving us that. You know what I mean? So it just makes it to where, like, people are gonna be like, you know what, man. Eventually, they're gonna be like, man, the hell with spring football. Straight up, the hell with spring football. That's what it eventually is going to be getting down to, because you got to imagine we're in November now. The XFL season starts in February. We're supposed to be having a draft next month in December. The October draft got canceled, and hasn't been nothing said. Nothing has been said about them redoing the draft or actually holding the draft from October anytime soon. So that means the supplemental draft more than likely won't happen. I don't know, man. It's just so many unanswered questions, and they don't want to talk. He says it's going to be really disappointing if my Maulers get left out of the merger. I'd even follow the team in Canton if they move, and that's what a lot of people are hoping for. That's what a lot of people are saying, that they might move the Maulers to Canton. They don't have to spill the whole beans. Just let the fans know about the teams. But see, I think that's the thing that they're afraid of, announcing that teams are going to be cut, and then they know that a huge amount of fans are going to stop watching, and they're not going to have interest because they no longer have a team to root for. Like, it's going to be hard for me. I'm going to still continue to cover spring football as long as it's around, but it's going to be hard for me to root for a team if the Vegas Vipers aren't a team. I have a whole show about the Vegas Vipers. You know what I mean? So, oh, hold on, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, something's going on with my audio. Y'all hear that? Yeah, that's my main thing. I don't think they want to lose fans by announcing something that they know is going to make the fans be like, you know what, I'm done. You know what I mean? Did y'all hear that, huh? Okay, hold on. Hold on. We should be good now, y'all. All right. My bad. That was crazy. But yeah, I think that they fear they're going to lose a lot of fans if their intent is to out some teams right now. What the hell, bro? Oh, this is not good. Give me 1 second, guys. We'll be right back. Music. Let's see if this works. Is that better, y'all? All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know, something wrong with my audio box. Yeah, my audio's tripping today. My bad, y'all. This damn audio is going crazy. Demarcus says this. They also can't do that whole "this is just temporary" bullshit either. The USFL said hubs were just temporary, and they're still going. We're going to have them this upcoming season, and I fear that they're going to still trying to have the the hubs. You know what I mean? And that's not a good thing. They fear, but they're already losing people. Not gonna lie, for being hush hush for so long. I'm pretty sure some fans said, "Screw it, I'm out." Yeah, I think there's a lot of fans that are at that point too. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see what happens, and we're gonna have to just be patient. You know what I mean? Because if we're gonna really be supportive of the league, we just got to be patient and see what happens. Now, if they do some bullshit and they give us a bullshit league that's merged, then I'm not sure what the hell to do. Just keeping it real. Not sure what the hell to do. But let's go ahead and transition to the NFL. Week 9 is huge. Week 8 was a big week, right? Don't get me wrong. Week 8 was a big week. There were some big games last week. And I think that we have to look at this upcoming week and 3 games in this upcoming week that are huge. That are huge. First game is Dolphins versus Chiefs in Frankfurt, Germany. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 a.m. Central. You know the whole go, or 8:30 a.m. Central, 7:30 a.m. Mountain. The game's gonna be lit. It's gonna be in Frankfurt, Germany, and there's gonna be a lot of people. Yeah, hubs don't get dubs. There's gonna be a lot of people eyes on this game. A lot of people's gonna have eyes on this game because I think this determines going forward who the best team in the AFC is, or the top team in the AFC. You know what I mean? Going into the playoffs, heading into the playoffs. I think this will give the winner of this game will give themselves a nice little edge and a nice little boost moving forward down the stretch of the season. We're already in week 9 of 18. We only got 9 weeks left. We're halfway through the season. We're at the midway point of the season. You know what I mean? So now we're at a point where a lot of these wins or a lot of these games are going to matter. Are going to matter. So I think the Dolphins have a lot to prove. And I asked this question on my Facebook. Who do you guys, or do you guys think Hill will have more than 150 yards receiving over the Chiefs? In my personal opinion, I do. I think if they don't get enough pressure on Tua and he's able to get that ball to Tyreek Hill, I think he's going to explode. I think he's going to go crazy on that secondary. A lot of people have the Chiefs, but I'm not even going to lie. I have Miami. I think Tyreek Hill, Jaden Waddle, and Tua are going to put on a show. I even think Barrios is going to show up and have a big game. I think the passing game for Miami is going to terrorize that secondary because I feel that the Chiefs' defensive line is really good. Don't get me wrong, it's really good, but their safeties and cornerbacks they're not top notch, and I just think that they're going to have difficulty really taking down the Chiefs or really stopping the Miami's high-powered offense. Excuse me. I really think that secondary of the Chiefs is going to have a hard time taking down and making stops on that offense because you gotta double, triple, and quadruple team Tyreek Hill just to stop him. Let's keep it real. That man will split double teams like it's nothing, and then take it for 80 yards to the house off a little bullshit screen. You know what I mean? Jalen Waddle can hit you with a post route fade to the sideline and toe drag that thing and pick up a 40-yard gain with ease. You know what I mean? Or they could burst for wide open touchdowns with ease because of their speed, especially Tyreek Hill. So I don't know. I think it's just going to be a hard game for the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. You got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But you shut down Travis Kelce, who the hell else does Patrick Mahomes have to throw to? Anybody else catching the damn ball? So at the end of the day, I'm more in favor of the Chiefs losing because Patrick Mahomes don't have no help. Him and Travis Kelce have no help. And they're not utilizing Isaiah Pacheco in the run game like that. And I don't know why. Because he can get a lot of yards anytime he touches the ball. So I don't know what they're doing, but they need to figure it out. But I really do have the Dolphins winning this game. Not even gonna lie. That's just my personal opinion. I just from an analyst standpoint, from what I've been seeing with that offense of Miami compared to that defense, especially in the secondary. Like, don't get me wrong, that defensive front of KC is fire. Them boys is no joke, especially Chris Jones. But that secondary hinders them. You know what I mean? And if you can't stop Tua from throwing that ball, it's not going to be a good day for them at all. Then you got probably the biggest game of the week, at least in the NFC. You got the biggest game of the week, Cowboys versus Eagles, NFC East divisional round, or excuse me, a divisional rivalry game. And I think the Cowboys have a chance. Now, don't get me wrong, A.J. Brown is that dude. A.J. Brown is that dude this year at wide receiver. Him, Tyreek, them boys right now are killing it. Tyreek's shooting for 2,000 plus yards. And A.J. Brown has had, 6 or 7 consecutive games with 100 yards receiving. Just saying. That dude is dangerous. But if Dallas can come in, take advantage of Jalen Hurts' injury, well, his hinderingness, because he's hindered. We're going to keep it for what it is. He's hindered at the quarterback spot. His knee isn't messed up. He's been wearing a brace for the last few weeks. It ain't been 100%. So if they can put a lot of pressure on Hurts and put him in situations where he has to use his legs, which he can't right now, the way he's used to doing, the Cowboys really have a chance to really put it on the Eagles and come out of Philly with a win. And I think if they do that, that will propel them. I think if the Cowboys can go into this game and get a win, they can get that monkey off their back from that 49ers loss and really be able to start looking forward to the rest of the season, because we still got Miami coming up. We still got Buffalo coming up. We still got the Seahawks as well as the Lions. You know, we still got some key games that we have to go into these games and win, especially in Miami and Buffalo. We got to take those AFC team powerhouse down. Those are powerhouse teams right now that are vying for a Super Bowl opportunity. Straight up. Miami's a contender for the Super Bowl this year in the AFC. Bills are possibly a Super Bowl contender this year, maybe their last year, but you know, this may be that window closing type of year for them. You know what I mean? So it's really going to come down to who wants it more. And Dallas is really going to have to go in here, and Dak's going to have to play well. The defense is going to have to play well. Special teams are going to have to play well. Everybody's going to have to show up. The coaching is going to have to be done correct. We're going to have to go in there like we did last week with everything clicking. You know what I mean? We really have to go into this game Sunday as the Cowboys. They have to go into this game Sunday, and everything has to click like it did last week. They need to be dominant on defense, dominant on special teams, dominant on offense. If they can do that, it will help push them the rest of the season to having a successful end to the season and making the playoffs. If not, and the Eagles prevail, it's going to be hard for the Cowboys to bounce back from it, because it's like you can beat all these mediocre teams, but when it comes to the teams that matter, you can't win. So If they don't win, it's going to be safe to say that the Cowboys aren't going to be hyped up for the rest of the season. If they do win, the Cowboys will continue to be hyped up for the rest of the season. So it's going to be a good game in Lincoln Financial Field in Philly tomorrow. It's going to be definitely a good game, and I'm excited to see what happens for sure. You already know, as a Dallas fan, I'm going for the Cowboys. But I think the Cowboys actually have a genuine chance to beat the Eagles tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Next up, you got the Bills versus the Bengals Sunday night football. The Tango and Cincy, boy. It's going down. It's going down. Cincinnati's found their footing. They're coming back with the records as far as that goes. They started off 1-3 in the first 4 games. They are now 4-3, 3-game win streak. So I think the Bengals are going to go into this game wanting to get a win more than anything. They need to get to 5-3. They don't want to be a 4-4 team. They don't want to be sitting at 500 in ninth place in the AFC, looking in on the playoffs. They want to be a top seed. They want to be in the top 4, top 3 seed of the playoffs when it comes to playoff time. So they have a lot of work to do, but I think they go into this game with a little bit more aggression, a little bit more focusedness. Um, and I think they're going to really test the Buffalo Bills, because when it comes down to it, the Buffalo Bills haven't showed up every game. Yeah, they beat up on Miami. Yeah, they won some key games, but they lost to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's not looking the greatest for them. So Buffalo got a lot to prove. The Bengals got a lot to prove. It's gonna be a big game Sunday Night Football, y'all. Y'all get ready for it. It's gonna be a huge game for Sunday Night Football. And then I believe the Monday night game is gonna be big as well. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's gonna be a good week of football in week 9, man. Week 9 is going to be big. Now, speaking of big in the NFL, there were some big moves made in the NFL this past week. Now, whew, there were some trades made. One being the oh my goodness, I don't understand what's going on, guys. I'm sorry about this. My audio's going crazy. Yeah, your Steelers got that win on in Tennessee, man. I was hoping Will Levis pulled out that touchdown pass at the end. I ain't gonna lie, for fantasy. I'm just saying, because in Gabe's fantasy league, in Gridiron Nation, I'm currently solo at number one. Number one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, doing my thing. First year in the league, you know, getting that good old dub right now. Looking good going into the playoffs as the number one seed. I'm just saying. Yeah, Levis is gonna be a really good quarterback, bro. Levis is gonna be a really good quarterback. I'm not even gonna lie. Will Levis is gonna be something else. Okay, I got you. We will definitely talk about that, because I would love to be in the money league for sure. For sure. Now, the Washington Commanders made some big moves during the trade deadline. Why the fuck? The Washington Commanders made some big moves. They got rid of Montez Sweat. They traded Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears. And then they traded Chase Young to the 49ers. Like, bruh, what? What? 49ers just beefed up their defensive line. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Arizona traded Joshua Dobbs to Minnesota. They need a quarterback. Um, Von Jefferson got traded to the Falcons from the Rams. Kevin Byard got traded to the Eagles. Donovan, Donovan Peoples Jones got traded to the. Where did he go? Yeah, he got traded to. What is this boy's name? I think the Seahawks. Hold on. Hold on. He went to the Lions. My bad. The Packers. QB Rashawn Douglas went to the Bills. The Vikings offensive lineman Ezra Cleveland went to the Jaguars. So, yeah, there were some big moves, but I think the biggest moves were Chase Young going to the 49ers. I think that was probably the biggest move of the whole trade deadline. Him and Joshua Dobbs going to the Minnesota Vikings. I thought that was pretty intricate. That was an intricate trade. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about it, but you know, I think that Chase Young trade though is huge. I think that Chase Young trade is huge, and I think that's going to be a big factor for the 49ers moving forward. You know what I mean? I think the 49ers really going to beef up their defensive line with that. It's going to be they're going to really make some noise. That's if he can stay healthy. Chase Young can stay healthy. I think that's going to be a big impact move for the 49ers for sure. If Chase Young is healthy, that's an impact move for the 49ers. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? Now, something's going on today. The college football rankings, the college football playoff rankings came out. I have having audio issues today, but there was a little bit of controversy with Ohio State being number one, Georgia being number two. This is I'm gonna tell you the top four teams. Top four teams in the college football playoff rankings are Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. That's the top four. And then rounding out the top 10, you got Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Mississippi. I know, right? But a lot of people aren't agreeing with that Ohio State. A lot of people think Georgia should be number one because they're the back-to-back defending national champions, reigning, defending back-to-back national champions. Here's my thing: Ohio State's beaten better opponents. They have a better resume. Georgia hasn't really beaten anybody. They have a tough task this week playing LSU. No, that's Alabama. Sorry. Alabama has a tough task this week playing LSU. But Georgia hasn't really had no tough games this year. So that's why I feel that they're number two. Yeah, they're undefeated, but they haven't had no real big games. Ohio State has. Ohio State beat up on Penn State. Ohio State also beat up on who was it? I forgot the other team. Forgot the other team that they played. That they beat, and it was a major impact game. But Ohio State has two wins against top ranked opponents this season. So I think it's safe to say that, you know, we're talking top 25, top 10 opponents. Georgia doesn't have that on their resume this season. So I feel it's comfortable or not comfortable. Well, I'm comfortable saying that I feel that the committee was right at putting Ohio State number one. I just really feel that. I feel that they were right by putting Ohio State number 1 because they deserve it. They have a better resume, and they've beaten the better teams. You know what I mean? The teams that they've beaten were ranked high, as far as I'm concerned. I'm just saying. Yeah. We can actually see Ohio State's. I'm gonna actually look up Ohio State. Their actual record. Jesus. I do not know what's going on with this. Now they beat Penn State. They beat Notre Dame. That's who it was. Penn State and Notre Dame. Beating those two teams, and this is when Notre Dame was ranked high. So you got to imagine beating those two teams. Georgia doesn't have that resume. So I really feel that the committee was right with choosing Ohio State at number 1 and Georgia at number 2 because they have the better resume. They played better teams and got those wins. They played Penn State when they were ranked number 7, and I think they played Notre Dame when they were ranked like number 9 in the country. So 2 victories over top 10 teams. I mean, come on now. Georgia don't have that right now. So let's just call it for what it is. I mean, committee was right. I don't really so much like the college football playoff format right now. I think more teams need to have opportunities to get in. I think it needs to be set up like the NCAA tournament in basketball, something like March Madness, kind of. They need to figure that out because I think it will be really helpful for them. But I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. So with that being said, guys, that's going to bring us to one of my favorite parts of the show. And y'all know what it is. Yeah. Smell time, y'all. Let's get it popping. My boy Hit got the questions again, like always. Appreciate you, brother. First question from Hit says, how do you feel about the trades? Do you think it helps or hinders certain teams? Well, honestly, a lot of the trades were made for a reason. Like, I think the Chase Young trade, it hinders no one because the Washington Commanders are trying to do a rebuild. So they had to free up salary space. So they did that and got draft picks. 49ers pick up Chase Young, a great talent at defensive end position. So that's a win-win for them. Chicago Bears, I don't know why they traded for Montez Sweat, but hey, I guess they wanted to Washington again needed to free up cap space. Got draft picks in return for Montez Sweat. In return, the Chicago Bears get a good pass rusher. Win-win. A lot of these teams did the trades for reasons that are going to help them in the long run. You know what I mean? For whatever direction they're going with their team, whether it's a rebuild process or trying to add certain pieces to make the team better. You know what I mean? So they really made those trades for helpful things, basically, to help their team. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers your question, my brother. On question 2, Hit says, with whatever is going on in the USFL and XFL, do you think the longer they wait to make a statement, will people just stop caring? Honestly, yeah. And it's starting to happen now as we're speaking. People are losing interest because they're not giving us anything. You know what I mean? They're not giving us anything whatsoever. They're not giving us any type of information saying, hey, we got some information coming. We're going to be making an announcement this date, or we got information coming next month. We're just working on it. Hey, don't worry. things are going to look good, blah, blah, blah. Just tell us something. Hell, write a letter to the fans. I don't care. Put out some type of press release that lets us know that y'all still give a damn, that we waiting to hear what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people are starting to lose interest now, and I think it's going to hurt them the longer they wait. They keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and we don't hear nothing until like the end of December. Nobody's going to care no more. When the news does drop, when the news does drop, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever. And if some of the information that comes out, some people were already hypothesizing about or thinking that it could possibly happen, they're gonna be like, oh, I figured that was gonna happen anyways, but I don't even care no more because I don't even want to watch no more. They took 2-3 months just to tell us what the hell's going on. So yeah, the longer they stay quiet, just chipping away at the fans. Exactly. Exactly. All right, and our last question for today. Ooh, I like this one. It says, if this spring league fails, do you think they will ever try it again, or is it the end all be all for spring football? I like this question because, in my personal opinion, if this spring league football merger thing fails, oh, spring league football is done forever. Forever. It's not worth trying anymore. If this does not work, there's no reason to have spring football unless the NFL puts it together and makes it a development league. That's the only way it'll work if it fails. If spring football fails with this new merged spring football league, if it fails, the only way it'll ever be done again is if the NFL does it and does it as a developmental league and they structure it because they're going to structure it the right way. They're going to promote it. They're going to get you hype about it because it's going to be all over TV, the whole nine. So that's the only way it would work again if it failed. Straight up. Yeah. He said like the Thanos finger snap type deal. Yeah. In a way, yeah, you could say it that way, yeah. Like it'll be done. It'll be gone. And the only way it'll come back is if the NFL be like, you know what? People we're interested in spring football. Let's bring it back. You know what I mean? But with this time we gonna do it. And it's gonna be the NFL's development league. Period. So that's how that's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There ain't no doubt about it, bro. That's how that's gonna happen. You feel me? So that's just how I feel, honestly. But hit, my brother. Thank you so much for the fan mail, as always.
Mail time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the mail time, as always. If you guys would like to send in your fan mail questions to the show, drop them to that email right there, the Gridiron Podcast at gmail.com. That's THAGRIDIRON podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you send those questions over. I will ask and answer those questions live on the show. As well, keep my co-host Gabriel Garcia and his family in your prayers. Just ask that you guys do that for me, please. And you know, go follow Gabe on all social medias, Twitter, aka X. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Instagram as well. And you can stay up to date with all the latest Gridiron Nation news, show episodes, and audio podcast episodes as well, wherever you get your audio podcasts from. And if you'd like to send in your fan mail questions to Gabe's show, Gridiron Nation, you'll send them right there to Gridiron Nation Podcast at gmail.com. That's Gridiron Nation Podcast at gmail.com, right there on the bottom of your screen. So make sure you guys go and check out my boy Gabe and go show him some love. Dope boy, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you popping in, man. Most definitely. Big love. That's one of my RP boys right there. That's my bro right there. He RPs with us. And if you are interested in RP, for anybody that's viewing or does watch the replay or the VOD, I guess you can call it, you can join the Chaos City Roleplay Discord and get whitelisted, so you can come and join the server and see what we're all about, man. You already know. But definitely, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week. Sorry, I had some audio problems today, and it was a little wonky, but we'll get that all straightened out next week, and it'll be a better show next week. Gabe will be back next week, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, like I said, just keep Gabe in your prayers, keep his family in your prayers, keep his daughter in your prayers. And again, you guys are amazing, man. You're always supportive. You're always here. Thank you again for the fan mail questions. Like I said, if you guys want to send in your fan mail questions, it's at the Gridiron Podcast at gmail.com. Get those questions over. I'll answer them. And then, as y'all see in the background, I know y'all see it. We got a rotary phone, y'all. No lie. Hold on. My name is showing that one. And I can't hide my name right now. But yeah, let me show y'all. We definitely got a rotary phone, y'all. And that's gonna be for the Gridiron hotline. So y'all get ready for that too, man. It's gonna be coming. We're gonna be getting it popping, having some fun on the show, man. So, as we do all the time. But again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in this week. I know it wasn't a super long show, but I tried to pack everything in and talk and at least touch on everything, especially those big games in the NFL this week. Make sure you're there tomorrow, checking them out. Make sure you're there tomorrow, checking them out. We got some big college games going on right now. USC and Washington are playing later on today, as well as Oklahoma State for probably the last time because Oklahoma's going to the SEC next season. So, there's a lot going on, man. So you guys might want to definitely check out college football today and make sure you're tuned in tomorrow for all the big games on NFL, starting at 6:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern. The Frankfurt, Germany game again between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. So football starting early in the morning tomorrow on Sunday. Well, at least NFL football starting early in the morning. College football is already on, man. It's going down today. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all, man. Make sure you're here next week. And I still want to know, who do you guys think are the best defensive back, your top 5 defensive backs of all time? Let me know. Send them over to the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail, and I will go over. We will talk about that next week. Give me your top 5 defensive backs of all time in the NFL, and we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? We'll talk about it next week. So, like I said, Gridiron Nation at gmail.com, or excuse me, Gridiron Nation Podcast at gmail.com to send your questions over to Gabe, and the Gridiron Podcast at gmail.com to send your questions right here to the Gridiron Podcast Show. I will see you guys next week. Also, they're still going to be having that Houston event, the X-Fan Legion. We're still having that Houston event January 13th for a fundraiser for the women's shelter in the event that they're holding in Houston. So you guys get with Rig Rocker, follow his socials, and get with him, get with Dirty and A-Train and the whole X-Fan crew to get more information on the event going down in Houston, Texas, January 13th for the Houston's women's shelter. So definitely go and hit up Rig Rocker and get more information on that. And like I said, I'm still trying to get a little fundraiser thing going for the Vipers if possible. If not, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on, but got a lot of things trying to get worked on for spring football if there's a team next season. So, a lot of it's gonna come down to if there's even a team next season. So like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week. Again, I do apologize for the audio issues we had earlier today. But we get all that figured out and get it right, get it tight. But again, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting like you always do. I'm your boy Jersey the King. This is the Gridiron Podcast Show, and I'll see you guys next week. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. I may be doing a Future Stars um series on the Fan Gang Nation show for all the letter of intent signees from this past week or so. So there's been a lot of players that got signed that have letters of intent to sign to the Vegas Vipers, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens. We'll see how that plays out, especially with the news about them um, players selling their gear. So, hey, brother, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you, Hit. Thank you, Doughboy. And Hendo, thank you, brother. I appreciate the love, man. We will be back next week. And like I said, I hope Gabe will be back as well. I'll keep you guys updated. But just keep supporting, guys. Just keep supporting and start sharing the show. Like the streams if you're on YouTube and Facebook, and start sharing them. Start getting your friends to start pulling up and debating with us. Hey, I'm gonna talk my shit regardless. But I love y'all, man. This is the Gridiron Podcast Show. Until next week, like we always say, no matter what life puts you through, you got to overcome it. And if you can do that, nothing can stop you. So, in the words of the wise one, be water, my friends. Peace out, y'all.